Running Violet is a genuine rock and roll band creating a major buzz in Toronto's music scene. They've played some of the city's best venues and have even been asked to return after their successful party shows. The quartet pride themselves on rejuvenating honest rock music and released their first record this year, a collection of 6 tracks titled You Could Be Dancing. On 96.9 Radio Humber, I'm Chelsea Pop with October's Band of the Month, Running Violet. How's it going, guys?
Great.
Thanks for having
Perfect.
us.
Good introduction.
Hello.
Thank you. So, first off, how did you guys get together? How did the 4 of you ultimately get together and become the band you are today?
Well, originally it was when I was in high school. I sent out an email just trying to find people to play with, and I got an email from Peter. So we started corresponding. I just wanted to figure out if this guy was just a random creep preying on 12-year-old kids.
On Craigslist.
Yeah, exactly.
And you were correct.
And
Thanks,
so we started to get together, and the day we were getting together, we got a message from Brad, and so we're like, get to the studio right now. We're going to jam together. And we've gone through 2 separate singers in the meantime. And then after our last one got an opportunity to work abroad, we were kind of just looking for someone. We didn't know, auditions and stuff like that. And Brad was one day at a music store just playing the drums. Jordo walks in, goes, "Hey, I want to start a band, and you're a really good drummer. Do you want to come start a band with me?" And Brad goes, "Well, we're looking for a singer. Do you want to join our band?" Yeah.
Learn 2 songs tomorrow. Sure.
And so Jordo was the first person to come in, and immediately we loved his voice. So he was our pick right from the start.
Oh, it was a perfect fit then?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Have you guys always been committed to the rock and roll genre, or have you played around with other kind of music?
That's kind of what it started out with. We started very 60s based, almost copying the Beatles or the Stones, but we kind of evolved. With every band that gets together, they kind of find their own style within time. So we are predominantly 60s based, but everybody kind of brings their own thing to it. I am still very Stones and like Rolling Stones kind of thing, and Ben's a bit more pop, punk, alternative. Jordo's everything. He brings corners of like folk and a little bit of like R&B in there too, and Brad's indie and alternative. So it kind of all goes together, and it's something everybody can enjoy.
That's awesome. So talking about the 60s, a quote that has kind of been around for you guys since the start is Running Violet plays the current year but thinks 1964. How does that describe the band, and what is significant about that decade to you?
Well, for me, it's 1964. That's like the first time the Beatles came to America. Is when the British invasion started and all that. So that's why I picked 1964. Right, but if you think 1964, but you're in the 21st century, you can't copy it exactly the way it is. I'd rather put on a Stones record than listen to someone play the Stones and try to be the Stones, right? So it's modern. It has a modern edge to it.
Okay, so your choice genre is predominantly rock and roll. You can tell that you're heavily influenced by the Black Keys, Led Zeppelin, even USS. But what Canadian musicians, or even specifically Toronto bands, have inspired you and assisted with your creative process?
For me, it's the Arkells and July Talk.
Yeah, July Talk's a huge one.
Yeah.
They're new, but man.
They're amazing.
They're great.
I love them.
Billy Talent has always been my favorite band, so I've always very much taken the darker side of the bass with them. So,
and of course, Canadian. I mean, I'm huge into folk music too. Folk and blues, so Tragically Hip, and what better, or worse time really, but a huge influence on how I even grew up.
Cool. So You Could Be Dancing is your first EP. It's a very positive and upbeat album. There's a lot of lyrics about just having fun and dancing, of course. But how did you begin creating it and come to the conclusion of the 6 songs you chose and put together?
Those are just, I think, our best ones that we do at shows, and really high energy, and with that title we wanted to try to bring that as best as possible, or as predominantly as possible, and we just wanted like high energy, high octane songs to just people can put it in their car and like want to almost unbuckle their seatbelt and dance out of it.
Right.
don't do that, though. Drive safely, please.
Yeah, and
but
actually, when we didn't really know that we were doing it, but the songs that we picked, they're almost like a journey or a night out in Toronto, or like a city in Toronto. There's a lot of city elements. It's a lot about going out on the weekend, like forgetting about all your stress, all your problems, and everything you've got going on. You just put on your dancing shoes, coming out, right, and dancing and listening to great music, and having fallen in love and all those kind of great stories.
Right. So how do you get in the mood to kind of write those songs, and for the creative process, like how does that work for you? How do you get into that kind of mindset?
Starts with 3 or 4 chords.
Usually Peter will come in with the riffs, and then we'll kind of write around that. It's a very collaborative process that everybody gets their 2 cents in. We all listen to each other. We try everything that each one wants, and then in the end, what everybody decides, this is the best product. That's what we put out.
And when it comes to the lyrics, Peter and I might write 3 verses in 5 minutes, but then get stuck on one line that, we need like a lunch break on. It'll take us 4 hours to get this one perfect line down, because we don't want any filler lyrics at all, really. So.
Right, you just want to be completely genuine.
Yeah,
you.
exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's not all made up stuff that isn't real. That's another thing. It's genuine stuff. Like, we'll sit there and what's relevant to now in our lives and people's lives that are around us. What's everyone going through?
Yeah, and sometimes we'll break up with people on purpose just to
It has happened.
We don't
Creating your own turmoil.
Yeah, thematically it's interesting.
life's too good right now.
Thematically, we all live in Toronto, and we're from Toronto. And I mean, what is it, 3/4 of us live downtown Toronto or near it.
Mm-hmm.
So we're always around the area, and we've grown up with the area. So we write songs about stuff that we know, and we know a lot about the urban setting of modern Canada in terms of Toronto. So I think just being around that setting for our whole lives so far, we just start to have all these ideas for these songs, and that's how we kind of draw inspiration from it.
Oh, perfect. So talking about Toronto, you guys play all over Toronto all the time, and you've hit up some of the city's most popular venues and even been asked to return, which is awesome. But what has been your favorite or most memorable place to play?
It would definitely be the Horseshoe for our album release party. It was on a Saturday night, so to be the headliner on a Saturday night, it puts a lot of pressure on the band. You got to fill that place, and you got to bring it as good, as best you can. So we did just that. It was way better than I think we could have imagined. You're on the stage and you're looking by, and you just see silhouettes all the way to the back, and you see some familiar faces up front, and a lot of people you don't know. They're just jamming out as hard as they can, and I think that was the most euphoric moment I think we've all shared together. And we had a great photographer too, so we actually captured it perfectly. I've never seen anything so well captured on photo.
I think one of the craziest moments of that show was that I usually run off the stage because I have a wireless receiver on my bass. So I'd run off and then go behind the crowd to play and then kind of run through. But this time when I went around the back, all of a sudden I couldn't get through because there's so many people already. And I go, wait, this is full. This is amazing.
And I'm looking for Ben.
Where's our bassist?
We were a 4-piece at one point.
So what do you think sets you apart and you guys are so good at getting the crowd going and having them be energetic and responding to your music. What do you think sets you apart from other bands that maybe play the shoe?
I think the whole mentality that we go into it is that you're not here to watch us play. We're not, asking a bunch of people to come watch us play. It's come kind of party with us. We do a lot of audience interaction as much as we can. I'll pull people up on stage, dance with them. That's why I hate playing the guitar when I'm singing, just because it limits me to one spot. I like being everywhere, all over the place. So, I'll go around. I'll try to be as interactive as possible and really just have fun with the people that are there. Because you know what? They came to see us. They're supporting us. So we want them to have an unforgettable night. And we're always getting messages the next day from people either we know or we don't know saying that was amazing. That was the best night I've had in a very long time. And that's, even what the album's about, just going out, having fun, blowing off steam. And we succeed pretty much at every show.
It's awesome that you get that human connection and that people kind of relate to your music and I can get that hyped about what you're playing. And the lyrics obviously mean so much to people that they can get that kind of energy going.
Yeah, because we're having fun up there as well. It's not about going up there and having to play. We do this because we want to. And the songs express that as well, but we try to show that while we play. I play very loudly on the drums. It gets annoying after a bit because I have so much fun. And you try to express that fun that you're having to the audience. Because when you go to see a band for the first time, your first thought is usually, well, are they having fun? Because if they're not going to have fun, I'm not going to have fun. And so what we want is for someone to walk into a place we're playing, look at us on stage and go, wow, those guys are enjoying it. And that lets you kind of be more liberal, I think, and kind of be like, yeah, I can enjoy this if they're having that much fun. So we try to be the first place to fun.
Lead by example.
Exactly.
That's awesome. So you do play a lot of shows in Toronto, but do you have anything planned for outside of Toronto?
Yeah, every now and then we get these like weird like private gigs or something. Like we just did this in the summer. We did this really cool cottage party. So there's like 100 people on this cottage lawn, and we're playing out to like a huge lake in the Muskokas, and stuff like that is just like it's so beautiful to just kind of be able to do, and like you get to meet all these great people playing all over the place because we're playing music. So it's such a great byproduct of something that we already love doing, is meeting people that we're gonna continue relationships with. And yeah, so whenever we get a chance to do one of those road trippy kind of gigs, we're like, yeah, let's do it. Like,
Yeah,
And we're trying to do it much more often too. We're really looking at touring very soon in terms of the Greater Horseshoe area around Lake Ontario and around Central and Southern Ontario. We're thinking about doing some dates in the States possibly next year, but definitely trying to break out more. Obviously we have a great presence in Toronto already. We have awesome people who love to come to our shows, and we want to try and branch out to places like Kingston, places like Ottawa that have such awesome fans. We've had the privilege of playing a couple times, but we really want to do more and more of that and possibly turn it into a tour eventually.
Well, it's good that you guys have like a solid base in Toronto. I feel like this is a really great city to start and get a traction going. So that's really good. So you guys have been together for a while, since 2011, or you just recently came into the band. But have you guys had any challenges together that you've had to overcome to keep going?
Well, we have Peter. Peter's a huge challenge in the band. No, it's. I mean, I don't think we have more challenges than anybody else. It's
probably
basically
less.
Yeah.
We get along way too well for. We know that nothing's worth a fight.
Yeah, and it's like in the end, it's a relationship between four people, but we all really want to make it work. So if we argue, it's quite often because we're passionate about it and we want the best for the band. So
we can all respect that.
Exactly. We'll fight over a mix of a song. Just be like, I think we should add this, and then someone's like, no, we should add this instead. And then, come on, it would sound so much better.
So all of your challenges, I guess, would go into making the music you're all about.
Yeah.
You're very
Yeah,
passionate
more
about
so.
that.
Yeah.
I think that's a good thing to argue about, is making yourselves better. So where can fans find you or buy your music or see you on social media?
Online, we do Facebook is our predominant site. So we do facebook.com/runningviolet. We say it maybe 5 times during a show to get people.
And if I don't, I hear it.
You can find us on Facebook, though. Twitter, we're also there on Twitter. Instagram, Snapchat's going now these days.
All under Running Violet?
Under Running Violet, yeah.
Right.
They can just search it up.
Yeah, search a hashtag, and then it's really easy to find.
And our album is on Apple Music, iTunes, and Spotify, as well as a few other music streaming sites. I think Google Music has it as well. So as long as you search our name, spell it right, you'll be able to find us, I think, on most places.
Yeah, we also have a website.
That's coming, that's true.
No, it's
Is it
done.
here?
Oh yeah, it's way done. Yeah. And you can order things on it, and do all the things you can do on a website.
And what's the website?
runningviolet.com. That was available somehow. I don't know.
With all the other Running Violet brands out there.
Yeah. So glad we didn't name her. Or you guys didn't pick a generic name.
Yeah, it's a very original name, Running Violet. What does that even mean?
Running Violet, well, it was my creation. I'll take the credit. But I came up with the name in grade, 11, 12. It wasn't even with these guys. It was with other friends I had, just thinking of what would be cool names. And we came up with this formula that was like, pick a verb, a color, and a noun. And the version I chose was Running Violet Cities. And then I brought it to these guys and I said, take out the cities. There you go. That was it. And it's kind of like a bad story, but we like to, it kind of makes sense for us. We all met randomly online. We really shouldn't know each other. It was this, by chance, answering this one ad on this one website that I found, and we all found each other. And, of course, finding Jordo with this Lon McQuaid, everything just seemed to fall into our lap. So this name that kind of sounds cool, that really came from nowhere, I think it really reflects the origins of us and how we, kind of came to form this 4-piece set of individuals.
Oh, sounds like fate.
Best email I ever sent.
Well, thank you guys so much for sitting down with me. You can find Jordo, Peter, Ben, and Brad of Running Violet, and their new album is streamed on Spotify. It's You Could Be Dancing. With October's Band of the Month, Running Violet, I'm Chelsea Pop on 96.9 Radio Humber.